Here it is, the brand new Asus ROG Maximus 12 Hero Wi-Fi motherboard. This Z490 based motherboard supports Intel's 10th gen processors. It's designed to offer an outstanding experience, stock or overclocked. The advanced VRM features an impressive 16 power stages to ensure more than enough power under heavy loads. This hero not only looks cool, but stays cool by design. This new heatsink design is bigger, better, and cooler than previous models. A 3-zone VRM heatsink with a large heat pipe keeps the power circuitry cool. And the M.2 heatsinks keep up to 3 SSDs at the right temperature for consistent performance. To the right of the CPU socket, we have 4 DDR4 DIMM slots for up to 128 GB of RAM. Thanks to our OptimM3 design and a new daisy chain topology, the Hero can overclock to higher frequencies like 4800 MHz and beyond. With support for our exclusive AI overclocking, AI cooling, and ROG GameFirst 6 software with AI networking, your system can automatically tune itself for the best performance with a few clicks. Setting the industry standard is our pre-mounted I/O shield, making installation a breeze. The back panel includes plenty of USB 3.1 Gen 1 and Gen 2 ports, USB-C, ultra-fast Intel Wi-Fi 6, dual LAN ports featuring 5G and 1G connectivity, Bluetooth 5.1, and analog and optical audio outputs powered by ROG Supreme FX for an immersive audio gaming experience that draws you deeper into the action. To expand your system even further, you'll find a USB 3.2 Gen 2 front panel connector, 3 PCIe 3.0 by 16 slots, 2 of which include our safe slot design to keep your GPU safe and secure, 2 RGB lighting zones, one on the chipset and the other on the I/O shroud. Addressable and standard RGB LED headers let you coordinate lighting effects across your entire setup with Aura Sync. The best just got better with the Asus ROG Maximus 12 Hero Wi-Fi motherboard.
Unfortunately, slipped on a banana in a bed wars, got himself banned, and now horrendously down bad. Proto got promoted to the mainstream. Hello, and I am now the host. Welcome to yet another playday of sixth season for Women's League, hosted by Esports. Yeah, we'll work on we'll polish it. Yeah, we're here. It is indeed. Yeah, look, today, or rather tonight, is looking to be quite packed with some action. We have some very large underdog stories, and then some contentions for finally breaking into the top 4 matchup. Oh, apparently Proto's microphone is not yet coming through, so we'll just hopefully get that fixed up. But yeah, look, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is absolutely amazing to have you all here. It is absolutely phenomenal, solid night. At least I can tell you that within Auckland, it's been a great weather. And look, yeah, might as well whilst Proto is getting his mic sorted. Yeah, why don't we have a look real quick at the whole season format, get ourselves refreshed with all of that, and hopefully by that time we'll get the mic working. We have 8 teams joining us for this league. We finally are live on the microphone. Hello, Proto.
Oh, sorry, I'm
Hello.
here.
Welcome back. Yeah, you're here. Glad to have you on board, mate.
Thank you.
But yeah, to quickly run us through group stage, best of ones for 7 weeks. Then we have playoffs with semifinals and finals are looking to be in the best of 3 format, with also us having a 3rd place playoff. And well, Proto, would you care to remind us for how many dollary dues are we all fighting here for?
It is a pretty amazing prize pool, Cthulhu. These teams are going up for their chance at a slice of 3,000 Australian dollars. Champions first place get 1,500, second gets themselves 1,000, and third still goes home with a lovely chunk of 500. Big one. So it's a pretty big prize pool that these girls are going up for, and hopefully one of them can walk away with a big dosh score. But Cthulhu, what else is there up for grabs here?
Well, good thing that you asked. Our wonderful friends at ZQ Racing are joining us as well for this wonderful season, and we'll be presenting the MVP, yet another wonderful ZQ Racing chair. And as we all know, better chair equals better aim, and better comfort in general, and maybe even it will be comfy enough to, fall asleep after a long day of grinding Siege.
Yeah. It is a strenuous process when you are playing Siege. You got to have that comfort to hit those shots. It's a +5 aim. I mean, this is going to be a big thank you to ZQ for sending that one over for our season MVP. But Cthulhu, what are we looking at for this evening?
Yeah, look, let's get straight on over it. Let's have a look initially first at the last week's standings to get ourselves familiarized with all the storylines that so far have been enveloping Season 6. And that is, well, Warriors so far are running on a flawless win streak. 4 out of 4 matches have been victorious. Following up, Viking Army and Forsaken Boba with 3 wins and a single loss for both of them. Overt, unfortunately, had a bit of a rough season with 2-2. And then we have Grumpy Grapes, Vulpes, Radical Rebels, and Fallen Angels, unfortunately, yet to make into the top 4 bracket. But look, maybe tonight we shall be getting yet another chance for some of those teams to break into the top 4.
Yeah, the bracket so far for our top 4 teams, it has been Warriors season. You do have to say 4-0 is a pretty big standings coming in to our next week here. But maybe we see some upsets tonight, Cthulhu, some big points to be lost and some big points to be gained all the same in tonight's games.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, look, for Viking Army here, the main thing for them tonight is going to be the need to score the 3-pointer to be able to even get close to contesting with the Warriors for that first place. The rest of the teams will just essentially need to make sure that they scoring as much as they can to get themselves over into that top 4 playoffs bracket, and then, well, close to the conclusion of the time it is, or rather by the conclusion of the regular season, we are going to be seeing the playoffs play themselves out. But without further ado, let's get onto our week schedule. As you've probably seen on the socials as well, first up, it is going to be Warriors versus Fallen Angels that we'll be watching on the main stream. Unfortunately, Community Cast had to be cancelled due to certain unavailabilities, but off stream, it is going to be Radical Rebels versus Forsaken Boba, as well as that Overt versus Vulpes. We'll be battling it out. And then to wrap up our mainstream, it is going to be Viking Army versus Grumpy Grapes closing it out. And the Viking Army versus Grumpy Grapes could actually be the big one, given the circumstances and the standings, with Viking Army being second place with 9 points. Grumpy Grapes are on 6 pointers. So for them to make it into the top 4, they obviously need to win it out, preferably in the regulation, as well as that they would be probably hoping for Overt to lose it out.
Yeah, look, tonight is going to be a very interesting night, as I've already alluded to. Obviously, Warriors Fallen Angels is going to be an amazing game, but I think the highlight is really going to be whether or not Viking Army Grumpy Grapes turns out to be a regulation time game, an overtime regulation game, because if Grumpy Grapes can take it away, that could be a big upset for the top 4. But if Viking Army can close it out, obviously, there's some other circumstances that would have to come to fruition. All the same, though, I think it's going to be spicy either way, Cthulhu.
Exactly. Well, spicy indeed it will be. Let's cast our eyesight towards match one, though. Warriors versus Fallen Angels, the top one currently team versus number 8 on the leaderboard. A bit of a rough situation there for Fallen Angels, but for Warriors, yeah, like we talked about it, flawless run so far, and they're looking to continue that domination through and through.
Yeah, Warriors have had a really strong start to this season. I mean, 4 unanswered wins. They had a couple of games that were relatively close. We saw Overt lose to them 7-5, which I believe was one of their closer matches with one of the top seed teams. However, Fallen Angels, as we've already highlighted, a little bit of a rough start for them. But if they can take even some rounds away from Warriors tonight, that's going to be big for them because, round count is obviously the Dubs side of things. So if they can put a big chip on the Warriors block, I think they can do themselves a justice. And even if they take the dub, that will set them up for, I reckon, a pretty decent second half run here for the next few weeks.
Absolutely. Well, let's have a look at the team rosters as well, get ourselves familiarized yet again with all these wonderful players. Warriors up first, it's AJ, Sav, Aussie Princess, Soy, Mons, with Time for Pie and Cripsty being the sub players, as well as that, Cripsty being the coach for the Warriors roster.
It's a pretty stacked roster. You do have to say that has some big names to it. And definitely some big numbers as well. I mean, kills-wise, we have 528 on Soy. I mean, she's a fragger. What else could you say? But Cthulhu on the flip side of the card. Fallen Angels going up against them tonight in this game. I reckon it's going to be evenly stacked to some degree. Fallen Angels have some pretty big hitters as well. Crystal, obviously, had a little bit of a rough season so far, but previously from her, we've seen some amazing entry fragging potential, paired with the remainder of the roster, some new additions for Fallen Angels, obviously Queen AFK and Amezi, the two of note for me. I think that Fallen Angels could definitely do some work tonight with this roster.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, the team, a very fresh roster, might I add. Yeah, with Nez and Azumi wrapping up the rest of the roster, as well as that Shift Potato and Queen AFK being kind of, I suppose, the sub/core players. But honestly, yeah, this could be quite a solid roster overall. I know Nez has been an absolute expert when it came down to anything shotgun wise, so I would be expecting a few close quarters games from her. But overall, yeah, look, despite their standings, this is a roster that still has quite some potential. It's more so about making it come to fruition, kind of deal.
Yeah, the chemistry side of things, I think, is really what's going to be the choice here for Fallen Angels of something that they are going to be focusing on for this game tonight. Hopefully, they can make something happen, something amazing. Maybe even walk away with their first dub. All the same, Cthulhu, where are we off to this evening?
Well, funny you should ask. We are going to be sending ourselves over to Italy, aka Tuscany. That is going to be Villa. That is being picked between the two teams, with, I believe, Warriors starting things off on the attack, if I can read it correctly. Yeah, so attack for Warriors, defense for Fallen Angels, so they get to essentially, that is Fallen Angels, they get to start things off on a much more comfortable ground, essentially wait for the push to come their way rather than them pushing. And honestly, yeah, it's just bound to be an exciting time, and as I believe all the players already typed in R's in the chat, we just might be quite ready to go.
Yeah, Villa's going to be an interesting one for this best of one here tonight, Cthulhu. A map that is traditionally attacker favoured, albeit FA on the defence, as you mentioned. The shotgun shenanigans of Nez, paired with the roam fragging potential of Crystal, could definitely cause the Warriors some hurt going into this map. But all the same, we're going to see how that goes on Villa. And obviously, as always, Cthulhu, we're going to be starting things off with the bans. What are you expecting? Most likely a Thatcher, maybe a Valk, Mirror to go. What else, Cthulhu?
I'm assuming something across the lines of maybe a Jackal ban, maybe a Nomad ban to be banned out, but neither of those is going to be the pick. Okay, Sophia banned out straight off the bat, and that is going to be by Fallen Angels. Feels like a little bit of a target ban, given just how flexible in general even Sophia been. So, not too... Well, in this context, not too surprised, but also very much still surprised. And with Flores out of the equation, a player like Thatcher will be still in the game. Thatcher's on the board. The first time in a while for Villa as well.
Yeah, first time I've seen a Thatcher alive for Villa. Now, paired with the Flores, obviously, I'm expecting either a Mirror Valkyrie, something that we usually see in defensive bans on Villa. There is going to be the Mirror. Whether or not it's the Valk is a big question due to the
I'm
fact
almost-
that Fallen Angels banned the Zoph.
Yeah.
So it could be
I'm
anything
almost
at this
tempted.
point.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to say it is a pulse, almost maybe.
Yeah,
On the
maybe
side of
Pulse.
defense, we know how
It could be
powerful
wrong.
he can be. Maybe even a Mozzie. Look, hell,
Yeah.
Mozzie could actually come and play. Okay, no,
That's
no,
okay,
much
it's
more
fine,
conventional.
It's fine.
Yeah, Valk is still an extremely powerful operator, so it's kind of a solid decision to acknowledge how powerful she is and just flat out ban her and not give any kind of opportunity, given that anything else will essentially require a much more visible, much more stationary utility to essentially spot, and unless you have some sort of just superhero hearing or just flat out hacks, well, vertical gameplay shouldn't be as much of a problem, given that I don't think we actually seen a whole lot of pulse play in general from Women's League, at least this season. Correct me if I'm wrong, though.
Yeah, no, I don't. I will agree with you there. I don't think we have seen Pulse utilized too much between these teams. We have seen a little bit of sort of multi-floor extensions. All the same, I don't think Pulse has really had a quite a high as pick rate on a map like Villa than what we've seen in other leagues. Albeit, we did have a small tease of the Glaz there, so that could be something that Warriors are hinting at for rounds to come, because they did, unfortunately, 6-back off on the Diana. So I am very, very keen to see what Warriors have in the bag for this, because from what we've already seen with that Glaz tease, that could be sort of the implementation of, hey guys, we have some cool strats that we want to bust out, albeit it could just be a wrong pick. But hopefully it turns into something Cthulhu. Starting things off, AVG, Fallen Angels, setting up with the extension, looking pretty decent.
Yeah, extension could be absolutely huge here, especially in tandem with the Queen AFK's pick of Capcan, with those Capcan traps, knowing full well that there may be some aggression coming about around the laundry / maybe the pantry room. This could be a good beginning here for the play, and with some presence on a red stairs, this is looking like a solid expansion. Now it's just more so going to be down to the down to the fact that FA players will just essentially need to nail their shots. We know already on the side of New Zealand Warriors, they can pretty much just do all that damage quite easily. It does go down more so to the coordination and what happened there? Oh, there we go.
Coordination as it was. A wallbang, it seems, through the wolf window onto the statue door. That is going to be a massive opener for Soy to find the Warriors, and already Fallen Angels are going to be put in the deficit side of things. But now it's going to be the remaining defenders trying to take back at least a refrag. Soy's going to take a lot of damage in that gunfight there on that window. Nez will now be droned out. However, some very quick work being made here by Warriors to take all the ground that they can get. And again, a lot of damage dealt to AJ there in the process. So Fallen Angels are dealing a lot of that early chip damage onto the Warriors, but they're just playing for the control. Fallen Angels still have a couple of players in that cross, and they are still sort of held off by Warriors here, but it's going to be whether or not the Warriors can push on through, because half the round gone now. It's the second frag now found for the Warriors. It's definitely looking good for the attacking side here.
Absolutely, this is looking a little quite grim here. Izumi does decide for the better of it and to fall back. MZ, Izumi, and Queen AFK, last 3 players standing against the onslaught of all 5 players of New Zealand Warriors, but as it stands, Soy and AJ Tiger are very much tagged up. Still expecting, though, plentiful amount of the push potential to come about, but slowly but surely creeping in onto the site, and well, the push is just about to commence with some information being still gathered about.
It's good to see the Warriors using all the time they have to gain as much information as they can. There's the first of a few cap cans to go off, though. Sab's going to take a lot of damage from that cap can there on the trophy door. Mizzy will take a little bit of damage at top main as well on the smoke, but all the same, still alive, guns up, ready to fight. Queen does have a good angle here. Will spot the IQ of Saz. Chooses to not shoot the shot. Will get droned out now, though, and he's going to have to relocate. However, taken down now from the cross by AJ. It's another frag in favor of the Warriors here. Also picked on the rotate will be Soy at top main. Is going to be Mezzi left in a 1v5. Make it a 4. Finds the first with the M590. However, the bomb now going down. 2 players converging on her current position. Flashbangs to come out. The burn is there, but is it going to be enough? No, it isn't. Aussie's there to find the final kill, and Warriors are going to walk away with the first.
Clean deal by Warriors. A little bit of a stall at the beginning, trying to find, some extra more damage before they actually make a full-on entry towards the site, but look, still managed to wrap it up relatively well. I mean, a 1v4 situation, look, unfortunately for poor MEZ, there wasn't much to be done. So, in saying that, going into round 2, we are going to be seeing AVG a retry from the defensive side of Fallen Angels, as they seem to have a good idea about what they need to tighten up, what they need to figure out, with just about the same lineup, which could possibly now introduce a bit of a different dynamic, given that Capcan somewhat became a bit more of a prevalent thing. Warriors will now realize that, hey, this may be a recurring kind of thing here, at least for this very site, and bringing in a Finka to negate all that Capcan damage could be actually quite a solid idea.
Yeah, I will say that is a good adaptation from Warriors, especially on the side of Mons, bringing out the Finker, an operator that has seen so much change recently that just makes her so much more viable in terms of obviously the prolonged health boost. Now you keep the health, the nades, the LMG, I mean the recoil buff with said LMG. Finker is nuts, just in her own sense of the utility she brings alone. Now paired obviously to counter that Capcan, that is going to be really big for Warriors, because as you said, that damage is almost completely negated. Everything is almost as if it never happened. However, maybe bringing the Capcan for Fallen Angels may not have been the best idea. As you said, it is being bought. IQ is on the board for Sav, and we saw her actively using that utility in the previous round. So maybe it's something Warriors are prepared for. It definitely seems like they have been sort of weary of that utility, but all the same, some changes here for FA as well could prove to be more fruitful. They have that cross from Wolf now covered, so maybe they're going to get a better start this time. Who knows?
I mean, the other idea that could have been really well realized here by Fallen Angels is bringing in something across the lines of just Ella or maybe Elysian, just play into that trap meta just a little bit more, given that it usually helps. Oh, no, Nez, no, that's unfortunate. That's highly unfortunate. But, yeah, to get back to my point real quick, before we get into all the action, we could possibly just see FA lean a little bit more into that passive damage realm, which would be still quite favoring them, given that certain situations would be a little bit easier to deal with. Say, somebody jumping into the window off top of the momentum. If you have a Frostmat there, look, obviously much easier to deal with a person.
Yeah, even again, a Frost, something like that has become such a utilized operator in multiple leagues, multiple maps, multiple playstyles. So even then, something like that could be interesting. Again, though, Soy's going to find the opener from the same window. Down goes Nez, and that's the Mozzie taken off the board. AJ will take a lot of damage, I believe, from pre-placed Nitro down below. However, not going to get any sort of fruit of the labor there, and it's only going to be a little bit of damage dealt to Yana. However, unfortunately,
that was
it's not enough. It's not enough. Oh, it was a Capcan. Sorry.
It was a Capcan.
So the Nitros are still all in the hands of the defenders, but a Capcan there for Queen AFA. So there you go. IQ didn't spot that one out, and AJ's going to take a considerable amount of damage. All the same, though, a minute left for Warriors to work with here. They have the first pick, and they have some good information here on FA, so can they turn it into another round win? Because they only have a minute left, Cthulhu, but they have the ability to do so. And there's Mons.
Yeah, so far it's just a bit of a fracfest one by one as I keep on waffling on about with the spectator controls, quite unfortunately. In a 2v5, though, things are certainly looking even more grim here, unfortunately, for FA. As much as they tried, as much as they've hoped to find any kind of solution, any solace, but unfortunately nothing comes of it, apart from the fact that that grenade was just clinical from AJ. Wraps it all up. Sav as well on the off-screen, doing a phenomenal job, and just like that, 2 rounds in a row in favor of Warriors so far, just looking to really take this as seriously as they can and just pay respects and just continue rolling with their pace.
What an aid. I do have to highlight what an aid from AJ. That was nuts. Now, there you go. Leaning into the trap meta, Malusi, Capcan, Ella, all on the board here for Fallen Angels, albeit we could see Ella 6 picked. It didn't look like Nez was too comfortable. No, it's staying.
No.
Here to play.
Nez with a skill cannon. Nez with a skill cannon is deadly.
Skill cannon. It's going to be dangerous. But it is Capcan to go. No, onto the Bandit. So a little bit of a lean in, but all the same. Reverting back to something standard, more or less a standard approach to a trophy stat hold, because the bomb side has obviously now switched up. 2 losses, Fallen Angels. Yep, okay, let's go off. Maybe this is the site they want. With that Bandit in play, this is going to be good, because notice Warriors haven't brought Thatcher this time.
True. They did bring in, though, the Jackal, which could throw in a spanner in the works even further. And I would assume that this would be a kind of a flank Jackal to say come through the Astro stairs and then assist with a push through Astro, and then directly into the site. So there's a few possibilities, but yeah, look, I definitely rate all of those picks so far, with FA leaning a little bit further into the whole trap meta, plus bringing some more conventional operators like Bandit to, obviously deny the initial breach and slow things down and drain some utility. I am though curious, how will essentially Nez play her cards, because again, I want to state that real quick. I did unfortunately fall to the skill cannon on Ella previously against her on this very map, by the way, which was quite painful, to say the very least. Yeah, but I can definitely vouch that with skill cannon in her hands, she could still very much deal a hefty amount of damage. But funnily enough, I've been theory crafting saying that it's going to be a very much head-on approach. It won't be. It is a full-on sweep throughout the whole map.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a more of a hardcore roam clear here. AJ starts things off with one onto Azumi. Crystal takes a lot more damage in the process as well from that Jackal. However, AJ doesn't quite swing out far enough to spot Crystal, but it's fine. Munz is there to finish off the kill that she started to get. Now, already 2 very early kills here for Warriors in the entry alone, and with this Yana replicator now going towards the site, this is going to provide the sledge in tow a lot of information to the players in and around Trophy, because, through the wall, Soy takes the head off of M, and now doesn't quite get some damage, unfortunately, onto the Bandit. But there's Nez with the skill cannon, finds one Mons there to trade, and it's a very quick round. It's already over. Cthulhu, AJ for the final, and Warriors again find another round.
Warriors, ferocious as they are, just absolutely plowing through the opposition. No chances whatsoever being given. It is looking like maybe Warriors are looking to continue extending their round differential here against all the other teams, because so far, despite all of the attempted setups, despite all of the big theory crafts that we've both been doing, Proto, and despite all efforts of FA, just unfortunately it seems like maybe it's the communication issue or just the general chemistry / coordination not really yet working out, or perhaps it's just siege timing at its worst and just FA just not really having the best luck.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rough round for them there. I think the Roamers, it seemed like the Roamers kind of got a little bit stuck, either in their positions that they'd been allocated or just on their rotates. I mean, we saw there Crystal in the top of the landing side of things, couldn't rotate towards 90 because her supporting player had already died to AJ, couldn't go down red because there was that player below, and had nowhere else to get out from landing, had to take the fight with Mons, lost it, unfortunately. However, then came the refrag from Ella. Nez came up the stairs. Skill Cannon went to work, took one down, albeit refragged very quickly. I just think Fallen Angels, with their extensions, they have to play a little bit closer, because they have quite a spread out roams, it seems, that we've seen in the last few rounds, and they lose the players individually. If they can keep the roam game tight together, they could definitely take the damage to Warriors. Because, I mean, we already saw Nez doing it. Skill Cannon came into play, easy frag, came up red, thanks for coming. If they can put more of that into circulation, Warriors are definitely going to struggle, because they haven't had an easy roam clear. Let's be honest, they still do have to fight for it. So, Fallen Angels, they definitely have the ability to do it. We just need to see the chemistry come into play and sort of back it up.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to really describe it all. Really, just for Fallen Angels, it's just, need to tighten things up just a teeny tiny bit better, and after that it would be a clean deal. Soy already on this very same position that AJ was about to swing, was looking to pick up, but that's a double from Mons, though, clearing things out herself, as I was thinking that AJ would be the one to get the frags, but unfortunately couldn't capture that double from Mons. But regardless, 2v5 yet again in the first minute, by the way, of the round.
Can I also highlight that 4 of the players for Warriors are currently deathless. Yet to die.
Yep.
Soy is the only player with deaths on the board for Warriors right now. FA are definitely having a rough start to this game. A 2v5 now for Queen and M to try and clutch up, and albeit make it a 2v1. Queen now left alone to her own devices. Can she get one? No, a flawless round for Warriors. The bomb going down as well. Warriors are genuinely looking very sharp on Villa Cthulhu. FA just can't seem to get that foot on the ground to put themselves up a peg. It is so unfortunate seeing them lose these early gunfights because their roam setup is so good, but Warriors are they're on the ball tonight.
Yeah, Warriors feel on just absolutely a whole new level really here against Fallen Angels, which is quite unfortunate for the FA roster, but look, it still, I would imagine, would be quite a learning experience as well, just in regards to maybe start experimenting with, rather than going for all those, cheeky expansions here and there. I'll talk about that six pick in a moment. Because that's a whole different talking point.
That's a different can of worms.
Yeah, maybe exercise something of going something similar to going full turtle setup. Just fully reinforce the whole site, turn it into a absolute castle. And then play for crossfires, play for just literally making it so that it's borderline impossible without dumping all your utility and maybe then a couple bodies into the site for the attackers to even make an entry into the site. So maybe work from there on. But as I started talking about it, we witnessed obviously Nez bring in the Cav, which is currently being hidden very thoroughly, and I don't think a single drone has actually spotted. But Aussie's drone here on the rotation could actually make things a whole lot more frustrating for the Cav player.
Definitely could be an issue. Depends how Warriors want to take it. If they want to bum rush through the bottom floor up the pantry stairs side of things, then that is going to be an absolute... Well, it's going to be a shootout between Cav and the remainder of Warriors. Now, there we go.
You were saying?
Open, the shots come out from Nez, unfortunately. Doesn't do any... They don't really seem interested. AJ is going to chase for the frag here, supported by Sav. So this could be where we see FA get the opening pick. Indeed it is. She finds one. She finds two. Both go down. Queen AFK finds one for herself. Not going to go for the interrogation. The double impact. Nez fades away. It's been a very slow rush. However, Soy will find one back for the trade onto Queen. But now a 4v2 for Fallen Angels. Can they make this round work at all? This is the best that they've had so far in terms of the starts.
Yeah, the biggest opener that Nez could have done there for the team. And look, at the moment, slowly but surely, Soy is chipping away at all of those reinforcements, taking each one of the gunfights one by one. Is certainly not the best case scenario here for FA, but right now they just need to make sure that they are playing a very cautious game. I say that, it's a 2v2 though.
Soy finding these entries for her team, and M and Nez now having to re-aggress through China, being held by Mons currently. Soy is on for an ace here, possibly, if she can find the last two. However, with the diffuser in her hands, the bomb now to go down, Jackie's going to have to hold this China cross. They're toying with the idea, but the flank, M's coming up the pantry stairs, but Soy is there for the quad, finds the fourth, now going for the plant. However, this has allowed Nez to make her way into the site. Mons doesn't know that she's made it through China. The plant could be denied. Will spot the sledge out. Soy goes down, and the confirm, the triple for Nez right now. It's a 1v1. Shotgun in hand. Can she make it happen? Mons is the only person that stands between her and a round for Fallen Angels.
Has a good idea about the position of Cav, but right now Nez on a whole different flank. Can she find the shots? She does. No! No, Nez! No! Took her time to line up the shots and unfortunately just absolutely 180'd almost. Oh no. Oh, that's just... I can feel the pain.
That is living in Spain without the S.
That is, yeah. And we're not even in Spain on map as well.
No.
Not even on Spanish map.
Can I highlight, though, the play from Cav? That is where FA are so good on the roam. That is what I've expected to see so many rounds from these guys so far in this game. I mean, the FA girls, when they get their roam together, it is huge. Now, we will see Nez straight back on that Cav. Don't blame her. However, when they can get the roam down, FA can cause massive amounts of trouble if left undealt with, and we saw it in that round. A triple kill for Nez. By herself, 2 entries to start things off. Obviously, Queen was there to make it happen as well, but you do also have to look at the other end of the spectrum. Soy kind of went beast mode. Found 4 kills by herself when her team was left in a 2v4. I mean, you do have to sort of tip your hat there. That is a huge effort from the sledge. That was amazing. That round in both aspects was amazing for both teams. Fallen Angels found their footing on that roam. Warriors, however, Soy, she found all the heads. It's all she needed to find in that. And unfortunately, it did come down to the 1v1, albeit Mons now the only player that is deathless in the lobby. So if she can keep that, that's kind of a flex. But Fallen Angels, I think they've definitely had a bit of a confidence boost given that last round. And hopefully now they can end at 5-1. Hopefully not a 6-0. But all the same, it's going to come down to the effort put in, and hopefully it can happen. Now, 5-0 Cthulhu. We could be on for a 6-0 split here. Fallen Angels are giving Kitchen another crack.
Yeah, this could be a solid decision here with the way how the push could be conducted. Apart from that, it seems like it's going to be a top-down clear to see what could be done, what could be sorted. MEZ a little bit dancing with the death, really, here. Just avoiding all the shots and avoiding the drone. Somehow still gets to stay alive, but that is good right now for FA. They want to keep their operators alive for as long as possible, but even look at some of the separation. All of them are kind of separated in just far enough positions where refrag capabilities are going to be very much limited. Yes, MEZ on the stairs and Izumi were relatively close by, Nez is still there, but given the way the current setup of NZW, it is looking a little bit dicey.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting attempt at the kitchen site here for FA, a bit of an extended roam. Only one player really on the site, which is going to be Crystal on the Malusi. Now, something else of highlight is the Doc is currently roaming downstairs, which is something that you don't usually see. However, good work out for them in the end. Now, Soy will spot one, but cleaned up by Queen on the drive-by. The Jaeger there to collect the headshot. Now, that is one of the biggest fraggers down for Warriors, and that is going to be a good opener to find for Fallen Angels. Now, whether or not they can convert the remainder of this into a round win is going to come down to how they play this roam out, because all of this separation, Cthulhu, is providing them with windows of opportunity to hide out from the vertical play that Warriors are bringing out, albeit it's not going to be too much anymore, having Soy now been taken out all the same. Sav is actually just in the site, however, will be traded out by Crystal very quickly, and now, again, back in the favour of Fallen Angels on the defense. Warriors are left on the hind leg.
Absolutely, yeah. With Aussie being the only one actually close by now to the side, the two remaining players are still relatively playing for vertical. Very disconnected push that is looking to be in play, but with Crystal opening up yet again, this is looking good, but Mons is there to get a refrag from above. Still vertical attempts, and once again, this is the round for Fallen Angels to take.
This is definitely going to be the one that they were looking for. Now, whether or not Mons can clutch the 1v3 to keep her deathless streak is now the next question, Cthulhu, because she still has 3 to find. That would put her on the double digits. A lot of damage dealt, though, by Izumi. The flick to the left, cleaning up what was left of the Jackal and Fallen Angels. They're not going to go down without a fight. They're going to put one round on the board for the split here. And now it's their turn to attack on a map that I would say traditionally favours attackers, Cthulhu. So this could be the turning point. This could be where the villain arc comes in for Fallen Angels and they actually start putting some big rounds on the board here, because Crystal on that Ashe, Izumi on that Twitch, it's definitely something you got to be scared of, albeit Warriors have a good sort of safety pad to play with here in terms of the round count. So I guess we're going to see how it unfolds now that it's the half Cthulhu.
Yeah, look, we at the very least did grab ourselves a 5-1 like you talked about just now, which sets us up for still a very interesting predicament, because with FA, once again, they are flexing a little bit more of a unconventional picks, like bringing in the Fuse, which, by the way, has been picked previously in some of the higher-end leagues, like OCL, like even OCN, and with the recent buff, with the introduction of the double secondary hard breach device, the fact that Fuse now been buffed and can breach through the reinforced walls with the costly charge, there's quite a lot of things that can be done in the utility department and the utility clearing. So I would imagine the play here, at least to a certain degree, could be take control of maybe the balcony and the study. If not, then go for the push towards the master bedroom, clear that out, and go for 90. And then from 90, really, unless there's going to be, well, unless there would have been picked any kind of breach denial operator, this is going to be free real estate for Fuse, because you can breach into the vault. Hockey pucks, if placed a little bit slightly more to the left of that wall, one of the hockey pucks will definitely fly in into the door, pardon me, off the push. And, oh my god, okay.
What? Okay. Yeah, no, sweet. AJ just jumps out, kills 2 people. M TKs, or M was TK'd, or... Something like, oh, yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. All of that you just said, Cthulhu,
Yeah.
is still valid because Fuse is alive. albeit it's going to have to be a pretty nuts 1v5 here from Nez, due to the fact that AJ kind of just cleaned up shop and killed everybody. It was the power of the Kickstar charm. We do have to highlight AJ there with the Kicks charm. That was the only reason that it was all falling into line like that. I mean, FA, that was an unfortunate mistake. All rappelling up on the same spot, you know.
Yeah.
And, I guess AJ was just there to collect dividends. It was the tax payment back at the end of the year for AJ. There, it was really just
it was
the day
time
in the
to pay
park.
out.
It was unfortunate for FA. A mistake, obviously, that he's going to teach them now. So they've got some time. I'd imagine that is why Nez is staying outside, so they can have a little bit of a talk. AJ's there. She's hungry for more, but she's not going to get any more frags. No longer a flawless round either. Yeah, look, that was a rough round. that was a rough round.
Yeah, Tilt Central is unfortunately upon us. As look, the moment I thought that I had literally the largest brains to explain how the whole attack went, and AJ just said, you know what, no, heck all your just analysis. We're fragging out here, which I do respect as well. Like,
Yeah, it was kind of nuts.
mad props, especially with the org out of all the things. Like if it was a MB5, look, understandable, good rate of fire, good stability, just
MP5,
doink everyone.
Sight. Yeah.
It's a good gun overall, but with an org, I respect that.
Respect the grind. Respect the drip.
I respect the drip. I respect the grind. But look, possibly, arguably, the final round that could be brought in to the victory of Warriors. 7-1 scoreline is certainly looking very strong, but it is going to be trophy and statuary. And once again, somewhat similar lineup, but on different different players, with AJ now taking the control of the Mozzie.
Mozzie, not paired with the mute. Mozzie, given his recent Roni nerf, has seen a little bit of a decline in play, albeit people obviously just run the commando instead. He's still a really good operator. His gadget still functions perfectly fine. He can still put a lot of hurt on the droning utility when paired with the mute as well. But all the same at the moment for Warriors, I think they definitely have a good setup. Their roam is catered a lot more to sort of their fragging play style. They have a lot of very aggressive players, obviously, Soy, AJ. Hello AJ, how are you? Hello. But they cater a lot more to their frag style of gameplay. And I think that's where Warriors are really excelling here in terms of the rounds that they've already got. I mean, obviously, Wamai jumping out the window and killing everybody isn't something you usually see. So unfortunately, that's the case. But Warriors are definitely making it work. And Fallen Angels, unfortunately, can't keep up with that aggression at the moment, I don't think.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a struggle town there, really, with the way how things have been really going on, and certainly still trying to find essentially the entry point, the push and the pressure point, really, against New Zealand Warriors. But at the very least, this is a much slower pace. They're obviously not letting the disaster to take place, albeit that lineup. Anyone to run out from the double door.
Yeah, that'd be big.
Speaking of skeet shooting.
Where's Soy when you need to get out the main door, soldier? Go get him. However, Deep in Study is a good position, I guess, for the push that it looks like Fallen Angels are trying to commit to here, albeit they're taking their time setting it up, which is not the end of the world for them. Some pre-fires here from Crystal, close to finding the head of the player at the top main stairs, all the same. Half the round left, Cthulhu. Yet to see any FA members make it into the building. Unfortunate. Ooh. Here comes the Nitro, though. Shot by Crystal. That was a clench moment, but there's Sav from the master window with the Vector of all guns. Takes Crystal out. There is at least a trade back. Queen 5-1 on the AJ. All the same. A 4v3. Let's make it that. Azumi to add to the score as well. But all the same, Fallen Angels actually find themselves in a good position here. Maybe waiting has paid off.
Yeah, a bit of a more patient game now, knowing that, Warriors can get extra aggressive with some of the swings. Waited essentially for those few gunfights to come about, and, there we go. They managed to farm up those two frags, both AJ and Soy out of the equation, which does leave us with Aussie, Mons, and Sav to clutch it out. By the way, funny haha number for Sav's KD and assists. But yeah, look, this is one of the best case scenarios for Fallen Angels to play it out and possibly push it into a 6-2 territory.
I mean, we've seen comebacks like this before. We have
True.
seen 1-6 comebacks in multiple styles of play, multiple leagues. I mean, it's definitely not off the table here for FA. However, given the current standings and how Warriors have played in the previous weeks, possibly difficult to pull off here. And with Aussie now finding Azumi as well, it's going to make things that little bit harder. Putting it back to a 3v3, they lose that man advantage, albeit the health advantage is still in their favour. This could be a bad crossover, though. Aussie finds one, doesn't get the second. However, Queen is going to contest, does some damage, albeit takes most of herself. The swing on in from M. However, on time, defenders are going to win. It's not frags. It is going to be time in the end there, but all the same, a valiant effort from FA and a valiant effort from Warriors, who are going to come out on top of it 7-1.
Clean deal, clean plays by NZ Warriors. Very nicely done. Yeah, like you said, 7-1 scoreline, certainly asserting quite the domination, and seems like, Warriors just taking this day-by-day approach in a very serious way, and certainly still preparing for any team, really, which is quite a huge thing to really think about. And look, overall, well done. Congratulations to Warriors. They get to keep their top place, and unfortunately that means that now for any team that wins out tonight, whether it's Viking Army or Forsaken Boba, they don't get to even get into a tiebreaker with the Warriors.
Nope. I will say Warriors have had a very elevative old season, or even a quacked style season. Teams that we've seen sort of pull off these flawless, amazing runs in the previous seasons. I think that is Warriors. That's what they're setting up to do this season. I mean, they have a really good lineup. They have their strats. I mean, you saw how they just played that map. I mean, there were kills going on left, right, and center, but all of them were in favor of the Warriors. And I think the one round that they did lose was ultimately just a mistake made. And it was capitalized on by FA. And you do have to give them props for that. FA had an amazing setup. They knew what they wanted to do, but Warriors came into it and they just had the confidence. They knew how they wanted to counter that. They had different operator picks. I mean, we saw the implementation of obviously Jackals, IQs. They didn't even need the Thatcher. They weren't even bringing the Thatcher on their attacking side. I mean, yes, okay, Soy was just sort of walking around and shooting everybody. But all the same, it was there. They had the chemistry. They had the knowledge. Warriors did really just sort of prove to us again why they are in that top spot and why they're looking to secure that top spot for this sort of first half of the season here, because they're putting the work in.
Absolutely. Yeah, they put in the work in, they put in the time in. And look, maybe it was the nerves that were the unfortunate demise for FA. But look, fingers crossed, and all the wishes for them to get themselves higher up on the leaderboard by the conclusion of the regular season. Apart from that, look, we are going to be taking a short, brief break to get ourselves, keen and ready and prepped up for matchup number 2, get us our stats sorted as well, and we'll be back in a little bit. Take it easy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Unfortunately, not with the best news due to some technical difficulties. The match between Viking Army and Grumpy Grapes is going to be rescheduled. So for tonight, unfortunately, we don't get to see them play it out. And as it stands, this is going to be wrapping up our play day and the broadcast as well. before we kind of fully wrap it up and say thank you to our wonderful sponsors as well, Proto, any kind of final thoughts about at least the game that we did get to see?
Very well done by Warriors. They really showed up tonight. They did really well. It is unfortunate in the end that we don't get to see the second part of this evening. Cursed internet issues, but hopefully it is going to be a good game nonetheless that we can see the results of in the coming weeks. But other than that, congratulations to Warriors and very well fought by FA. But yeah, we unfortunately can't continue this evening. So that's going to be all.
But unfortunate, big F in chat. But look, thank you to our wonderful sponsors, that is Ubisoft, ZQ Racing, Computer Alliance, with Intel, Republic of Gamers, and Cooler Master as well for making everything happening. Thank you to XP Esports for hosting it all. Thank you to Proto as well, and for Nuttery as well to come in for the last moment observing. And yeah, look, we'll catch you next week. Take it easy, stay tuned, and stay safe.
Powered by AMD 3rd Gen Ryzen processors, the ROG Strix B550F gaming Wi-Fi provides first-class gaming features and style. The B550F Wi-Fi features a robust 12+2 DR-MOS-teamed Power Stage VRM design with high-quality alloy chokes and durable capacitors to provide reliable power for the latest high-core count AMD CPUs. Fanless VRM and chipset heatsinks with our StatCool 3+ design keep your system running reliably under heavy load by enhancing passive cooling capacity for critical onboard components. For the best gaming connectivity, you get Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.1, and 2.5 gigabit LAN with Asus LAN Guard. You also get dual M.2 NVMe SSD slots, one with PCIe 4.0x4 connectivity, plus a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C port and Thunderbolt 3 header. Our pre-mounted I/O shield makes installation a breeze, and with USB BIOS flashback technology, your system's firmware can be updated for next-gen CPUs using nothing more than a PSU and a USB flash drive. A pristine Supreme FX S1220A codec with DTS Sound Unbound and Sonic Studio 3 draws you deeper into the action. Communicate clearly with Asus AI noise-canceling mic technology. Asus exclusive AuraSync RGB lighting, including 2 RGB headers plus 1 Gen 2 addressable RGB header, let you make your PC's lighting uniquely yours. ROG Strix motherboards undergo an extensive certification program to ensure the very best compatibility with the widest range of components and devices. For a smooth build process, refer to our list of guaranteed compatible components. Ascend to next gen with the ROG Strix B550F gaming Wi-Fi.